Hi guys, it's Katie with FDC, and today I'm going to show you how to make these moss-covered house numbers. These are a super great way to kind of add your address to the front of your home, and they're super easy to make. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some wooden numbers, and you're going to need a hot glue gun, some artificial moss, and I'm using a darker and a lighter shade of some reindeer moss today, and then you're going to need a hammer and some pushed-in picture hangers. So once you get all of your materials together, let's go ahead and get started. The first step in making your moss house numbers is attaching the hanger to the back. So I have these little push-in hangers, and they're pretty shallow, so it should work perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this 5 right here. And I'm just going to flip it over so it's backwards, and I'm going to remove this piece of plastic. There we go. And we're going to attach this. So I'm just setting it right on top. And I'm going to use a hammer to just push that down into place. There, and so you can't see anything from the front, and the back you've got this nice hanger on. Okay, and now it's time to add the moss. So I'm going to go ahead and start by kind of adding a dark base. So I have this reindeer moss in a nice dark green. And I'm going to just apply a nice thin layer of hot glue right on the first part of this number. Taking my moss and sticking it to the top. Just like so. Now, as you can see, you've got this nice number now that's starting to form. So I'm just going to continue adding the hot glue, and then adding a small piece of moss. Now, you don't want to add too much moss at a time, otherwise your number will kind of lose its shape. So just do small sections and make sure the moss is staying shaped tightly to the number. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this first layer of moss, and then I will check back in with you guys and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now I've got this really nice moss number 5 all ready to go. So the next step is adding some highlight moss. So I'm going to use this lighter green reindeer moss. It's the same texture, so it blends really nicely. And we're going to go ahead and just add a few little accent pieces. So I'm going to go start at my bottom corner, and I'm just applying hot glue right on the edge. And I'm going to pull a nice thin line of this and set it on top and push it down into place to make sure it's right where I want it to be. You gotta hold that and wait for the hot glue to dry a little bit to make sure you're good. Okay, and now I'm gonna add a little more right here. Just really small pieces is gonna really make this pop. You gotta be careful to add it in kind of strategic places because you don't want it to look splotchy. You want it to look really just natural. And I'll add a little more right up in here on the edge. And maybe a larger section of it right in here. And you can kind of keep playing with this until you get a look that you're really happy with, but this is what your moss number will look like. And I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest of my address, and then I'll show you what that looks like hanging up. Thanks for watching, guys.